I've been cleaning the kitchen since I was a teenager, and I have developed 5 techniques I use to make cleaning my kitchen as easy and painless as possible. Today, I thought I would film every single time I go into the kitchen to show you what this looks like, because for me, a visual example is so much more effective. Here are my 5 techniques: the pass by, the soaker, the in-betweens, the shortcuts, and the categories. As this day progresses, you will see me use all 5 of these so that by the end of the day, when I have almost no energy, the kitchen is so easy to finish. Okay, I am currently working on breakfast. I've got water boiling for my coffee, and I've got a piece of bread in the toaster oven. While I'm waiting for everything to come together, I'm emptying the drying rack, and I also put away a couple of recycling items that had been kind of drying off in the sink. What I'm doing here is just using the in-between moments to be a little bit more productive. Could I be staring into space, contemplating life, and having an existential crisis? Sure, I've done that a lot of times. Could I be scrolling on my phone? Also, sure, and I've done that plenty of times too. In the past, I did not realize how much these little couple of minute tasks can add up to the whole. So I would just think, why worry about it right now? I'll just do the kitchen at one decided time. But having experimented with this a while, I've realized that you can get so much done in a couple of minutes at a time. Now that my breakfast is ready to go, I am going to take just a couple of seconds to utilize the tactic of soaking. I'm a big believer in helping myself out whenever possible, and I know from past experience that cleaning egg pans and the like will take a long time if I leave it out. It somehow turns into this crust that embeds itself in the pan, and that takes ages to scrub. I don't want to do that, so I stick it inside the sink with some hot water and soap. Soaking takes me less than 30 seconds and probably saves me 5 to 10 minutes. The next time I enter the kitchen, it is because it's lunchtime and I'm going to use the in-between spaces again to be productive. So I put a bowl of spaghetti in the microwave, and while it's microwaving, I am going to attempt to clean as fast as I can. I want all of the dishes in the sink clean by the time the microwave dings. This is my favorite way of using the in-between times to clean, because I figure if I can get this one task done before this thing that I'm waiting for is finished, I just get a little thrill. It may sound nerdy, but I love being able to accomplish something when there's a timer on it. Now, before I sit down to lunch, I have a sink that is empty of dishes. And of course, when I'm finished with lunch, I don't want to get my hands dirty again, but I am going to just run a little bit of water on my plate so it's easy to rinse off later. I'd like to note here that all day I am using the pass-by technique. So if I go by the kitchen, if there's something out that I can just quickly put away, if my hands aren't full and that kind of thing, I'll do it. If there's bread out that I didn't put away, I'll throw that into the pantry. If maybe I had left something that needed to go upstairs on my way to go upstairs, I'll grab that thing. I'm always just trying to do 1 or 2 little things in every room when I have the hands to do it. Now we've arrived at the final sprint. It is dinner time, and I have to be very careful with my time and energy at this point in the day because both of those are bottoming out quickly. Now, what I want to do is throw the dino nuggets and fries, which I was making that night, into the oven and then go sit down. But then what is going to happen when the timer goes off and the dinner is ready is I will have finally gotten comfortable and my body will want to just sit there. And then it requires greater mental effort and greater physical effort to get up, get everyone's food ready, get my food ready, sit down and eat, at which point then I'm going to have to get up again after I've gotten comfortable and clean up the kitchen. That sounds terrible to me, so I really try to utilize those in-between times to get as much done as possible so that when everyone's finished with dinner and I'm finished with dinner, there's almost nothing left to be done. One of the other techniques I use that is super helpful, especially in the evening when my brain has virtually turned off, is category cleaning. So I could wander around this kitchen doing very little and doing it very slowly, Or if I have goals in mind, categories that I'm working on, it helps me to really focus and be more efficient with my time. So I started off by emptying the dishwasher. Next, I loaded everything that I had already washed so that the only thing I would need to wash after the dishwasher is loaded would be the pans that I had used and the dinner dishes that we had used. I've been asked a bunch of times before why I wash my dishes before I put them in the dishwasher, and I'll just say this. My dishwasher is old and does a terrible job. So if they're not pretty clean, then the dishes aren't going to come out clean. And the other thing is I'm not really doing a lot of work because all of these dishes have been soaking. If I'm washing my hands, I'm doing it in this sink so that the soap and water can get on the plates that are in there. And it makes it just a breeze to clean off those plates so that when I put them in the dishwasher, I'm essentially sanitizing them. As I continue to clean by categories, I think now is the right time to talk about one of my favorite techniques, which is the shortcut. I used to have this idea that everything had to be done perfectly, and because I put that much pressure on myself and I did not have the physicality to do things perfectly, I would end up doing nothing. And no one wants that. So I, since then, have just been introducing as many shortcuts as possible to my life to make it easier to do the things that I need to do. That's just being smart. When my kids were littler, it looked like using paper plates when I was absolutely exhausted, so that would cut down on how many dishes I had to wash. The most recent shortcut that I invented for myself is the island trash bucket. Why do I have a trash bowl on my island when I have a full-size trash can to the left of my fridge? That's a great question, and here is my answer. When I am very low on energy, every step really counts. This trash bowl is in the dead center of the kitchen. So that means when I'm doing various things around the kitchen, instead of having to, every time I have a bit of trash, either leave it on the counter or go walk it to the trash can, I can simply stick it right there in the middle in the trash bowl. I guess another reason I do this is because I recently realized that I'm an adult and I get to make decisions according to what I want to do. P.S. I would love to hear any shortcuts you use. That could be about cleaning the kitchen or cleaning another area of your house. Now imagine you come into your kitchen after you've had dinner and there is almost nothing left to clean. How different does that feel than coming into a kitchen that is full of dirty dishes? I know that there are a lot of different situations going on in your home. You could be someone who is working all day and then you come home and you've got to just do all of it at one time. These principles still apply if you've been gone all day. I also know that there are people who have family members who are not cleaning up after themselves, and that is so discouraging. I worked with a client one time who had grown kids that were not cleaning up after themselves, and after we brainstormed for a while, she decided that she was going to put paper plates in the pantry and she was going to keep a cup, a plate, a bowl, a spoon, a fork, etc. for herself, clean them after she used them, and then put them away in her little hiding place so no one used them. And that way there really wasn't a ton for her to do because no one was pitching in. If there are people in your home that will work with you, definitely take them up on that. Delegate as much as possible. When I make content for you, I want to never assume about your situation. So I always come at it as if you and I are doing this on our own. All of the techniques that I've shared today, the pass by, the soaker, the in-betweens, the shortcuts, and the categories will work for you no matter what stage of life you're in or what your circumstances are, whether you're doing this on your own or whether there are other people you can collaborate with or delegate to. I hope that there is something that I shared today that really helps you and makes a difference in your life. As always, I thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you next time.